You're listening to First Bitch of the Day with Joe Paradise and the KEMPIRE here on KEMPIRE Radio.
I'm a classic man. Hey everybody, this is Joe Paradise with KEMPIRE with me today, and this is the First Bitch of the Day, episode number 2 of...
Why do you sound so excited, Joe?
I know I shouldn't sound so excited, but it's our episode number 2 today, and I'm really excited to be here. How are you today?
I'm great. It's hot here in New York City.
Yeah, I just found out you don't have like central air or something in New York.
You know what? Go to hell.
Down here in Florida, it's like a requirement.
Yeah, for those that don't know how we do First Bitch of the Day, I'm here in New York City. Joe Paradise is in Orlando, Florida. We're doing it remotely, but we're keeping the entertainment, on all kinds of levels, north and south.
Got to touch the public where we can.
Definitely. Our first episode of First Bitch of the Day was pretty successful. We've been replaying it and everything like that on KEMPIREradio.com. And it will be on iTunes soon. We'll definitely let you know once it's officially on iTunes.
Yep. And you could follow us on Instagram at the number 1 B. Wait. I gotta write this down. It goes First Bitch of the Day. Okay, so it's the number 1 BOTD. So basically, First Bitch of the Day at Instagram, and you can also follow us on Twitter.
Yes, and definitely you can like us on Facebook. Just put in First Bitch of the Day. It should come up. If it doesn't, it is what it is. We haven't even posted on our Facebook yet.
Yeah, but soon. All this is brand new, and we're really excited with this podcast. Like I said, this is the second episode, and here we are.
Yeah, it is what it is. That's my motto for life.
Well, first of all, Kemp, I just want to give a shout out quickly to the Brown family and the Houston family. They had tragically lost Bobbi Kristina on July 26th in their hometown of Georgia.
Wow.
It's really sad. So I just want to say my first bitch of the day really will have to be everything that's going on. Allegedly, now allegations are going against Nick Gordon, who was her boyfriend. They're saying that he gave her a toxic cocktail. Have you heard about this?
Wow, yeah, I was reading that it was like last night it broke, that story on TMZ.
Yeah, and it just pains because this family already been through enough.
Yeah.
But I guess they're really trying to get, I don't know, not the last, I don't want to say, well, I would say the last nail on the coffin, and really find out what happened on that day in January. Yeah,
as everyone that's been following the story, Bobbi Kristina was on life support since January. She just passed away, as Joe said, on July 26th. But now these documents are coming out where Nick Gordon has been accused of pretty much killing Bobbi Kristina, of homicide. They're saying that he gave her a deadly toxic cocktail, and then brought her body allegedly up to their bathroom and put her in the tub. So this is what TMZ is saying exactly. I like to get especially when we tell stories like this, I like to I'll put it on TMZ. According to TMZ. And according to the docs, it says Gordon got in bed, put his head on a female's ankle, and said, "Now I want a pretty little white girl like you." This is after supposedly he's put Bobbi Kristina in the tub and giving her this toxic cocktail of drugs. So so this is saying, Joe, pretty much there were other people in the home at the time. I don't know where the family, because this is a lawsuit from the family. Mm-hmm. I don't know where exactly they're getting these details, if they're getting from witnesses that were there, but these are pretty specific details of what probably or allegedly went on with Bobbi Kristina and Nick Gordon, who we all know. If people aren't familiar with Nick Gordon supposedly was the quote-unquote adopted son, but not officially adopted by Whitney Houston. After her death, they came out with their sort of relationship. One minute they're boyfriend and girlfriend, another minute they're husband and wife. But according to the Brown and Houston family, they were never legally married, which is, by the grace of God, good news, because then he would be technically entitled to her inheritance of $20 million.
Yeah, it makes me think in that instant that they wasn't married. So what will he get at the long run? You know, even CNN is running with this story too. They're saying
Wow.
like the family is really accusing him of like placing her face down in the bathtub of cold water, and they're
That's
seeking
insane.
$10 million. It's like, does Nick really have that money? And
Well,
is what they want at the end of the day? Is it money?
Well, there's according to TMZ, they're saying it's $40 million. But you know what happens with a lot of these. You know, I'm not an attorney, but what I've seen over time with these different lawsuits, a lot of times the reason why they put a number to the lawsuit is not because they want to get that money. It's so that they would. So that they're able to get more information about what happened to Bobbi Kristina on that day. So that's why they have to technically sue him to take this further.
Okay, I get it. But it's been so long now. You know, they did the autopsy. They said there was no foul play. Mm-hmm. It's like nobody was there. Mm. You know, let her rest in peace already. I mean, if he did do this, hopefully it does come out to light. Yeah. But it's just crazy how it all plays out in the media. Yeah. You know, and that would be my bitch of the day, because if my family was going through something like this, I wouldn't want it to play out in the media, especially something so tragic as her death.
Yeah, it's really, really, really sad. I mean, especially dying at 22 years old. And then there's all this internal fighting between the Browns and the Houstons. And it's just a lot of unnecessary drama. And unfortunately, I don't think that's going to end, especially when money is involved.
Yeah. I heard a picture was snapped, too. There was some online talk about a picture was snapped. I don't know if it was a picture was snapped of her in the hospital before she passed, or in the actual funeral in her
I heard it was in her casket.
In her casket, wow. And, you know, a picture like that would run for I don't know how much. But at the end of the day, it's like, wow, it's crazy. You know, people actually pay for that, and people actually do want to see that. That blows my mind.
Well, I know this is your bitch of the day, but can I bitch about something in regards to this story as well? I think I heard Bobby Brown's sister, is it Leola or something Brown? Leola Brown. L something Brown. Well, she was kicked out of the funeral a couple of weeks ago when they had the funeral. Or was it last weekend? I can't remember. When they had the funeral, she was kicked out because as soon as Pat Houston, you know, if you don't know who Pat Houston, she is the wife to Gary Houston, Whitney's brother. But she's also the... She's like over the estate of Whitney Houston. So she heads up everything in regards to Whitney Houston. So when she was going up to speak at Bobbi Kristina's funeral, Leola Brown, or something Brown, whatever her name is. I apologize, Leola. Don't get mad at us. And she starts accusing Pat of all this fraudulentness. That she accused Pat of using her foundation to raise money, to steal money in Bobbi Kristina's name, for the funeral. So they had security remove Leola Brown from the funeral. Mm-hmm. But my gripe here, and it's not with Leola, even though Leola's been in the news with other things about revealing things about the family, about Whitney and about Bobby and things like that before. So my gripe is not with her. My gripe, though, and it's not even a gripe, is my concern is... It's the same concern that Leola has with Pat Houston. Pat Houston, to me, first of all, she is the head of over this estate. And my issue with Pat, since Whitney died, is that I felt like she was trying to profit off of Whitney's death. Because they immediately booked a reality show following their lives after Whitney and things like that. And I just felt like Whitney probably wouldn't want you to do this. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I feel like that put Bobbi Kristina on a more of a platform now for people to be more critical of her. I mean, even though she wasn't in it a lot, she was in it a few times. And I'm actually really surprised at Cissy Houston as well to be being a part of it. I just feel like Whitney, although they were trying to, clear Whitney's name in this sort of reality show, I just feel like Pat Houston I've always had this gut feeling, and this is a gut feeling, this is just the way I feel. It may not be true, but I just always had this gut feeling about Pat Houston that she's not as authentic as she appears to be. Mm-hmm. And my thing is, though, there is no way in hell that I would have someone that's not my family member, especially if she's tied to a family member, oversee my estate. Like, Michael Jackson did it smart. He didn't have his family over his estate. He had 2 attorneys that he trusted to oversee his estate. And they've done this is up for debate. They've done a fantastic job with maintaining that estate and bringing in money for that estate. Yeah. I don't know. I know Pat is trying to do all different kinds of things. I just don't trust her. Look, point blank period, I don't trust Pat Houston.
We don't trust you, and if you feel anything differently, Pat, and if you're listening to this, feel free to contact us.
No, don't contact us, because I don't want to have a conversation. I don't want another Tamar Braxton situation.
Might throw a little Twitter finge.
I don't need any drama there. But yeah, so that's just my gripe with the situation. Nick has not seen Bobbi Kristina since that day. So I know he was on Dr. Phil and he went through a whole rehab situation. Not sure what his status of addiction is right now. Mm-hmm. But we'll be following this story. We'll see how this all plays out. There's a $40 million lawsuit. Maybe we'll get more facts. But if it's true that he allegedly gave her a toxic cocktail of drugs and then put her in a tub and they are able to figure this out, there might be other ramifications from this. So we'll definitely be following this.
One of those is jail time. For life.
Ugh, yeah, that's crazy. Well, I mean, I'm sure the guilt, if he knows he did something, the guilt alone would kill him.
Yeah. But you know what's so funny, going back and seeing her Instagram, I truly believe there was love there, though, between those two. As crazy, as toxic as that relationship looked and seemed, there was love there. There was love there.
How do you know that?
It's all about the posts and the pictures.
Oh, you followed them on, like, their social media?
Well, I did. Not anymore.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, I never believed in that love, but that's just me. That's just me. But other stories, it's first bitch of the day, episode 2, here with Joe Paradise and me, of course, the KEMPIRE. We want to hear from you guys. We posted these podcasts on KEMPIREradio.com first, and of course, eventually it'll all be on iTunes for you to download. But we want to hear, what are you bitching about? What is your bitch of the day? We're not calling anyone a bitch. We are just saying, what is your gripe? What is your issue? What is pissing you off?
What is
today?
Bothering you today?
And we're sharing ours. So if you want to give us ideas of about what you're bitching about, maybe we're bitching about it too. Like, my other bitch, I had posted this on my Instagram. You can follow me on Instagram at the KEMPIRE, but that's my personal one. But my bitch of the day, because I run an online blog and a radio station, I get hit up all the time with submissions from artists and things like that. And it's great. That was the whole purpose of creating these different platforms, was to give an opportunity for those people. But first of all, I hate getting just crap. I get a lot of crappy submissions. But I also, those people, that's why I always, and I was just talking with a mutual friend of ours, James, Joe, saying, this industry, it's really important in order to maintain your integrity as an interviewer, as a radio personality, as anyone in this entertainment thing, is really not to become friends with the people that you either work with or interview or anything like that, because it can affect the questions you want to ask them about what you and I discuss here on this podcast, or, you know what I mean? You're going to be softer. You're going to, watch what you say. When you want to be free to say how you feel and what you think. But a lot of these industry people that I've become, I wouldn't say friends with, but associates with, will always hit me up. And that's the only time they'll hit me up. Oh, Kem, how are you? And then all of a sudden they want, we're working on this new song. We got this new project coming out. We have this new artist coming out. And sometimes it's like, you never even hit me up. Just say, hey, Kem, how are you? How can I help you? It's always, oh, Kem,
what can you do for me?
What can you do for me? So that's my bitch of the day, week, and month.
Oh, those people, give me.
So that's just one of my things, and this is no way directed at anyone specifically. It's just a trend that I saw this week, and I was just like, I'm well. How are you? But yeah. But anyways, that's just my bitch of the day and the week. But there's been a lot of things going on this week, Joe. What is one of your bitch of the day?
Well, it's not really a bitch. Well, it's an overdue Walk of Fame star. Guess who received their Walk of Fame this past Wednesday afternoon?
Oh.
Mariah Carey. Woo!
About time.
Play some Mariah Carey in the background right now. Anyways. Yes. I love Mariah Carey. I've always been a fan of her since, she came out in the 90s. I was a little kid. I was probably like 1 year old. Anyway. She received her Walk of Fame star. It marks the it marks the 2,556 star on the trail past Wednesday to Mariah Carey. But guess who really stole the show, Kev?
Oh.
Her son, Moroccan, 4-year-old son, Moroccan. He clearly has her DNA. He jumped during her, I guess her pose. I guess she was doing a pose or something with the picture. And then, I don't know if you've seen this video yet. It's posted everywhere online. Mm-hmm. He runs and jumps right on top of her. and Mariah gave me that mommy dearest kind of vibe. She clearly, had no idea her son's, on her. Or she did. I don't know what happened, but she looks over and one of her assistants comes running and grabs her son away from her. She did not move. She did not budge. I think it was the most hilarious thing ever.
In all fairness, though, and I'm sure I'm not a parent, I'm not a mother or a father or anything like that, but I'm sure there have been moments where for those parents that are listening, you're at a public place or whatever it may be. Definitely not the walk of, the Walk of Fame, but where your child is doing something and you really want to snatch them up and stop it. She really couldn't do that because there's thousands of people out there, lots of cameras. So she's like, Moroccan, get over there. She doesn't want to grimace.
Come on now. She could have got up. She could have been like, honey, it's okay, or had that photo op. I mean, there is beautiful pictures that came out of her son just there. And I know Mariah's all about her pose and, I can't move from this position because the lighting's just right. And Mariah just gave me diva to the fullest in that moment.
She looked really, really good, but that was a really, really funny moment. I thought it was cute because to me it was a real moment that we saw with Mariah, and that's children. They're unpredictable. They do those kinds of things. They're like, who are these people? I want my mommy.
Mm-hmm. And just to clarify something too, everybody's like, and this goes out to all the stands. You know how there's big people who are so big on the stands, and Jennifer Lopez and all these stands that they have. Everybody's like, oh, now she's receiving the star. I really didn't know she didn't have a star yet. I literally had a trip planned to LA this year, and one of my ideas was, or to Hollywood. I'm like, I want to go see, I'm on a mission, I'm going to go see Mariah Carey's star. Not knowing, unbeknownst to me, that there was no star for her yet at that moment.
You've been highly disappointed.
So I would have been looking forever. My whole vacation would have been looking for this damn star that was not there. But she did get nominated back in 2008, allegedly, for a star. But I guess her busy schedule and everything didn't let her do it until this time.
Well, you know what it is? A lot of people don't understand how you get a star on the Walk of Fame. It's not something that, is given just, you have to raise money in order to get the Walk of it. You have to pay for it. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times it's fan clubs that raise the money, and that's how you get the Walk of Fame. So it's not like, oh, Mariah, it's not like this panel of people that say, yes, this year we are going to give it to Mariah.
Mariah Carey will receive the Walk of Fame.
This whole process that people don't understand, and it's a very kind of political process political and, monetary process that has to happen in order for that to happen. I'm wondering why it took so long for them to do that. And I saw a lot of, like you were saying, the stands saying, oh, well, J-Lo had hers 2 years ago. I saw all these different memes of, Mariah versus J-Lo. And it's always been this sort of, feud between the stands. And my thing is like, if you guys really understand the process of this Walk of Fame, it's really not what it's cracked up to be. Of course, it's an honor to get one, but the process is kind of like, oh, so that's how you get one? So pretty much anyone can get one as long as you raise the money.
And it's not like that. Do you know, actually, real quick, do you know somebody who will never receive a Walk of Fame star?
Kim Kardashian?
Besides her.
Who else?
Beyonce.
Why?
Beyonce will never receive a Walk of Fame star of her own because there's already one established for Destiny's Child.
Oh.
Now, in the books for the Walk of Fame, you cannot receive more than one star. So since she's basically or is part of Destiny's Child, she will never receive a Walk of Fame of her own.
Oh. I'm sure Beyonce's people will work out those details and she will get her Walk of the Fame and we'll have to...
Oh, Beyonce. She's going to... This is a stan again.
Why did God give me this life? Sometimes it's overwhelming. Why did God give me my talent, my gift, my family?
Beyonce! She's forcing the children!
Beyonce could change any rule in the book, right?
I'm sure. Well, like I was saying with this whole Walk of Fame thing, the rules are so interesting on how to get one. So I'm sure they will bend heaven and earth to get one for Beyonce. And the same goes with Kim Kardashian. They said there would be no reality stars that would get a star on the Walk of Fame. Mark my words, Kim Kardashian is going to get one.
I mean, at the end of the day, I think she does. I mean, that opens a door, though, for so many reality stars. It's like, do they deserve one? I think the Kardashians itself is like a totally different empire from a lot of these other reality shows because they really build something like phenomenal. If you're not keeping up with the Kardashians, who are you keeping up with?
I'm not. At least not any longer.
Well, you know, they always come up with something. Look at the recent thing with Caitlyn Jenner, you know? Like, now I'm watching that documentary, because that's what we're going to call it, a documentary, because it's not really a reality show. I think
it's on docu-series, they call it. Yeah,
the docu-series. You know, I watched the recent episode on this past Sunday, and it's really interesting. I feel like from the show and watching this show, from the Kardashian show to watching this show, it's more real to me, you know? And Caitlyn's so oblivious to the trans community and what they go through, and it's so crazy because she's such a Republican in a sense, you know, and that's far from trans people and their rights and what they feel and the struggles they have to go through.
Yeah,
but that's a whole other topic there.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we haven't even touched on that time, but backtracking just a little bit in regards to Mariah. Well, first of all, congrats to Mariah. It is well deserved. It's a long time coming. But speaking of Mariah has a new remix to her song "Infinity" out. Did you hear it? It came out literally.
Why You Mad?
Yeah, "Infinity." Why You Mad? The remix
with French Montana and Justin Bieber
and T.I.
Oh, and T.I. Yes, T.I.
Thoughts on it?
My thoughts. It sounds like a hot track. It does. I think it should have been the original track. To be honest, because being a stan myself from Mariah, I wasn't really a big fan of Infinity. So especially naming that album Infinity to #1, she was really hoping on that song to reach #1.
How are you a stan and you don't even got the album title right?
Infinity to #1, right?
No, it's number one to
Infinity.
Is that your dyslexia?
She lost me on that one. I'm just sorry. Hopefully this song does better. I keep hearing like it's gonna be a hit for her.
Where are you hearing this from? Are these from the stand meetings that you guys have?
Yes. It's twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Oh God. I heard the remix.
Jennifer Lopez never comes up.
My thing is though with Mariah is that I don't know. It's just kind of like I love Mariah when she does a remix because she always changes it up. You know, remixes nowadays are are never really original. They're really just like the original song and the addition of a rapper. But what I love about Mariah is that anytime she does a remix, she always really tries to make it different and make it like a new song.
She goes back in the studio and re-records it, basically.
Mm-hmm. I'm not sure how I feel about this Infinity remix. It's okay. Justin could be off of that. French could be off it. T.I. was a nice addition. That was it. I like the new vocals that she added to it. But I don't know.
And allegedly, Justin Bieber wasn't even supposed to be on the track. He was just in the studio. At the same time, she was in the studio, and he was like, "Oh, can I jump on this?" You know.
And she needs to learn how to say no.
Yeah. I mean, you already kind of like ruined your Christmas thing by putting him on there. Anyways,
don't remind me. Do not remind me. Speaking of new music. You know, last episode 1 of First Bitch of the Day, we were talking about Meek Mill versus Drake, and unfortunately we need to keep talking about them this week because Meek Mill on stage, you know, opening for his girlfriend, Nicki Minaj, he decided to do a freestyle diss to Drake. Again, pretty much bringing up Nicki, saying that he wanted to be with Nicki, but you know she's with me, and there's all this other stuff. But I have to tell you, it was terrible. It was just like, okay, you're just digging this grave even deeper. It's like, oh come on, Meek. It's like, what's going on? But sidebar. Rewind to the first episode of First Bitch of the Day. Why were you calling Meek Mick?
Huh?
Why were you calling Meek Mick? Did you notice that?
You know what? Because he's irrelevant to me at this point. So I'm sorry about that. Meek Mill.
You don't know her?
I don't know her.
I just noticed that.
I just feel bad for Meek Mills.
Oh God.
You know, naturally, I just want to call him Meek for some reason. But it's kind of sad because I don't know if you got to check out during Drake's Oval. Mm-hmm. Oh, I think it's called Oval. Yeah. I keep pronouncing stuff
OVO.
wrong.
Mm-hmm. Huh? OVO.
The OVO concert where he actually like went in on Mick, on singing his songs Charged Up and Back to Back, and showing all these memes on the background. That was hilarious to me. It's like, wow, he just keeps hitting him where it hurts. It was hilarious. This whole situation is hilarious to me. I did not hear that new diss by Meek Mills, but I'm sure it's terrible.
But it's funny because even backstage, Will Smith was there and Kanye West, and they were looking at the different memes of Meek and laughing. But what's more salt in that whole wound is that isn't Will from Philly?
He is from Philadelphia. Yeah, he's from Philly.
Even Philly's laughing at you, Meek. Oh my God.
Hey, Will has some good, songs back in the day. I think they were trying to play off the whole, having the greatest rapper from Philly and then bringing Will Smith up. He had some good hits back then.
In West Philadelphia, born and raised on the playground is where I spent most of my days. Chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all cool and all shooting some b-ball outside of the school when a couple of guys who were up to no good started making trouble in my neighborhood. I got in one little fight and my mom got scared and said, "You're moving with your auntie and uncle in Bel Air."
We could have a Will Smith moment. Moving on. I felt like we talked enough about it in episode 1 about Meek versus Drake. Mm-hmm. Clearly, Drake won.
Let's move on. That's over with.
Speaking about moving on, can we say congratulations to Jennifer Aniston? She finally got married.
Finally, yes.
I mean, last episode we were talking about people that were just looking sad after their breakups and things like that, and a lot of people were, giving Jennifer Aniston that whole "oh, it's gonna be okay," because she got left. For those that don't know the story, she got left by Brad Pitt for Angelina Jolie after they did Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and publicly embarrassed. So that was several years ago, several kids ago. With Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, they're married now. They have several children together. And Jennifer was, single for the very longest time that she met this. What's his name again?
Justin Thorax.
Oh, Thoreau.
Thoreau or whatever, yeah.
So she met him a couple of years ago. They got engaged after 18 months of dating, but they've been engaged for like 2 years, I think. You know, so everyone's like, when are they going to get married? And she, you know, in several different interviews, she was just saying, you know, they're waiting for the right time to do it. And the time came. They had a very private ceremony at their home in California. Mm-hmm. And I'm happy for Jennifer because you know what? She's friends with people like Chelsea Handler and things like that. So my thing is, if you're friends with certain folks like Ellen DeGeneres and things like that, and Sacha Baron Cohen, if you're friends with people like that, it gives me a sense of who you are and your sense of humor, and I can get down with that. She seems like she'd be a cool chick.
That's a good point. Yeah, exactly. Like it's well deserved. It was a long time coming, and it was a surprise wedding too. Like, how awesome is that to get away with something with nobody knowing about it? Apparently, it was supposed to be like a birthday party for Justin. So all the guests showed up to this birthday party, and surprise to them, it was a wedding. Mm-hmm. You know, it's a beautiful thing. Congratulations to that the newlyweds. Apparently they're in Bora Bora too for their honeymoon.
Good for them. Sidebar. I'm not hating. Sidebar. I would be pissed. Let's say you were getting married, Joe, and you invited me and you want to keep it real private. And you're like, oh, it's a birthday party. And I just come in my kicks and my sneakers or something. Even though I probably wouldn't come to a birthday party like that, even if they said, you know, dress a little bit. But still, I might, the outfit I want to wear to your wedding as opposed to what I want to wear to like a formal dinner, it's going to be very different.
It's so funny because I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, if I'm going to show up to a wedding, I want to be dressed for a wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The outfit's very different. Even if you have a formal dinner, the outfit I'm going to wear to a formal dinner, even if it's a suit and tie, it's not the outfit I'm going to wear to your wedding.
Well, who knows? They got lots of money. Maybe they had like stylists there and clothes there for their guests. Maybe it was all prepared for them. Like, here you go. I'm
prepared to have a lot of money in the future. When I get married, I'm not paying for Joe Schmo. I'm sorry. Joe Schmo.
Hey.
to have a stylist to get. I need the focus to be on me. It's my wedding day.
This is true.
But who knows? Maybe they were told, you know, it's a black tie dinner or something like that. Maybe that's what they did.
I don't know if you got to see the picture of the Muppet cake they had.
No, I heard about it. Was it cute?
Oh, it looked so cute, and it just makes me feel like she, you know, once again, it's like you said about her character. Mm-hmm. It's like she's funny, she's down to earth, and this wedding was totally different from her Brad Pitt wedding. You know, it was all over the media. Everybody knew about the date. It was so over the top, you know. And this one seemed a little bit more laid back. It was less guests that arrived. It just seemed very humble. As far as humble goes for being Jennifer Aniston, you know.
Yeah. I mean, she seems like a really cool chick, but congratulations, Jennifer Aniston. We are very happy for you here at First Bitch of the Day. We're not bitching about that. We're bitching about the fact that you invited us to your wedding and we didn't know what to wear. Just saying.
You know, like showed up in my Skechers and stuff.
Just saying. Speaking of more music, let's talk about Ciara. You know, we talked about Ciara last. Really? Don't shade Ciara. Don't shade her. The C Squad will get you, and I don't want them attacking me. They already attacked me the other day.
No. To be honest, I love Ciara. I always liked her ever since Goodies came out. Mm-hmm. You know, I just don't know what happened throughout after that. Anyway.
Well, I think Ciara is trying to give us a little bit more about who she is. There's rumors right now, and I was checking out UltimateCiara.com, and they are reporting that Philippe Scataletti, director of Ciara's Basic Instinct You Got Me music video, released a Mac capture of a video he's editing which featured Ciara a few weeks ago. It's obvious that he's putting together some sort of documentary for her, probably similar to her webisodes that she did last year for Fantasy Ride. And then today, or I should say not today, yesterday, via Twitter, he said that he was going to Spain with Ciara. And it looks like he might be filming, you know, he was asked if he was filming performances with her and things like that. He said, he says he's like something like that. So it looks like Ciara might be filming some sort of documentary.
Okay, you know what? I think that would be a good look for her because I think her issue is she doesn't really connect with the public. You know, it's really hard to like in past interviews that I've seen Ciara, and she seems like kind of robotic. So hopefully this documentary, if it is in the works, shows another side to her and a more real side. You know, I think that's what we need from her at this point, just to know like who is Ciara.
And maybe that's what the goal is. Maybe this is what her team has decided. You know, we need to really tell your story because supposedly, and this is what I'm hearing. This is what they're saying on the streets. That supposedly she's going to talk about her relationship with Future. She's going to talk about the beef with Rihanna. I don't know if any of that's true, but I feel like even if she does bring up any of those things, her relationships with Bow Wow and things like that, even if she was to talk about those situations, I think she's going to give the PC responses, the PC stories. She's not going to go in. She's not going to be like, oh, that Rihanna, I don't know why she is like, so obsessed with me. And she opened for me many years ago. Like, I don't know, she's not going to do that.
That's what we want from her. It's so funny because she is being brought up a lot in the media at this point, especially with her, I think, supposed engagement with Russell Wilson and their whole like.
They're engaged.
Yeah.
He really want to get that.
They're talking engagement. I'm not sure if they're engaged yet, but because they're saying that they're not even having sex right now.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. He really wants to get that pom pom. He wants to lock it down so he can like, oh, let me see what this is like.
You know, all they need is like purity rings or something.
I mean, Russell Wilson, he's gotten an upgrade because now people are paying attention to him. Outside of playing football. It would be interesting to see. I mean, that's the other gripe I have this week, but we'll talk about it, about Future and his thoughts about what's his name?
Who?
Samuel Wilson being around his son.
Yeah.
But before we get into that, I don't know if this documentary is if Ciara's gonna go there and give us what we need. And I know you want the ratchet stuff, but I want to see Ciara unpeeled, like come on, because it really is like she seems like a really sweet girl, but it seems like there's this disconnect. She doesn't seem relatable to people. People are just like, oh, something happened with you, Ciara, and I think it was that whole Kim Kardashian effect, and that could partly be why they you don't really see them together as much as
Kim
you used to.
Kardashian effect. What do you mean? What happened?
Where people don't take you serious when you start hanging out with her.
Oh.
They don't take you as a serious artist. They feel like, you're part of the Hollywood scene. Like you talked about on the last episode, she seems like she's just a part of that Hollywood scene and not, you know what I mean, like a real person that's, serious about her music. Mm-hmm. But, there was this other story that I don't know if it was last week or the week before, but I meant to bitch about it here on this episode. Future came out during a Breakfast Club interview and said he was not happy with Ciara bring their child, Future Jr. Such a stupid name. Sorry, yeah. Future Jr. It's no offense to you, your damn parents. That's not even Future's real name, but you're gonna name your child that. But anyway, he was talking on the Breakfast Club that he was not happy that she brought their child around Russell Wilson so soon. And their relationship is a new relationship, and why is she bringing her son around this man? And then T.I. weighed in as well, like last week, and was saying, that would not be cool. If it was my situation, that would not go down, blah, blah, blah. I'm paraphrasing. That's not what he said. But pretty much he was not down for Ciara bringing, their child, Future Jr., around her new boyfriend. Mind you, T.I. and Ciara are cool. Like, he's on her new album. He was on her debut album. They're supposed to be cool.
Yeah.
But, T.I. says...
Why is everybody so, concerned? Like, is there a certain standard I don't know about? Like, oh, you must bring your child, the person you're dating, you can't bring them around unless you've been together for, 6 months, 2 months. Like, what is that date? What is that time frame? And at the end of the day, Ciara's the mother. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Future should have a say in the son's life of little Future Jr., but You know, it's like, why be mad about it too?
Well, you know, a lot of other people were saying too, and I mean, it's not the popular opinion. A lot of people are saying, like, where are you, Future? She needs a father for a child. Or where are you? You have 5 different baby mamas. And you weren't saying anything. No one was saying anything when you brought Ciara around all your baby's mamas and their children. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But, I mean, people could argue that, you know, at that point, I think they were engaged and she was pregnant and, you know, I mean, I can see both sides of it. And I know that makes me Switzerland. But I can see the side where, you know what, it's a new relationship. You don't really want your child getting attached to this new person because when and or if that person disappears from your life, the child, you know, they do get affected by that. You know what I mean? But at the same time, Ciara is the mother, and she has to make that decision. And maybe she should be making that decision with Future, but we don't know the current status of that relationship. We don't know, are they co-parenting in a positive way? Are they able to communicate effectively as co-parents? Apparently, it doesn't seem that way.
Nope, it surely doesn't seem that way. How long, do we even know the date of how long Ciara been dating Russell Wilson?
It really isn't. It's not even 6 months. It's not even 3 months, I don't think. Like, the first time we saw them together was at that White House dinner or something like that. And that wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day...
She's like, oh, I got a man. I'm about to do it. And this song coming out, I bet. Oh, wait. Let me not do my impersonations.
Yeah, because Ciara's voice is a little bit deeper than that.
Yeah.
No, really?
Remember, we got to see Ciara. I mean, this a few years back.
Several years back. When she first came
several
out.
years back. This is before Evolution album, I think, came out. But she's such a great performer, though. Going back to her dancing, she is such an awesome performer. And I really do hope everything works out for her because, you know, I feel like I'm rooting for her. I really am.
What exactly are you rooting for?
Her career.
I just wanted to be clear because we talked about 2 different things.
And her relationship. I really want this relationship to work out for her as well, too. You know? But you know what's so funny? You know, going back to the whole not having sex thing, it's like, ooh, I know people wait. Some people wait till they get married and to have sex and stuff like that. I mean, nowadays you really don't see that. I mean, that's the goal and the idea how it should be. But what do you know? What do you know you're getting yourself into? You know, it's like, ooh,
that's true.
I don't like this. This is not gonna work out for me. And
now you're married.
And now you're married. What are you gonna do? Divorce in 72 days? Oh.
Oh, I wonder if that's what happened. No, because no, you bring up a very valid point. You know, because reportedly this is what Russell Wilson and Ciara are doing. They're waiting for marriage. They're not having sex. I don't know if they're doing other things, but and it reminds me of an episode of Sex and the City where she's like, you know, Charlotte waited till she was married to the doctor and. You know, she's like, oh, but his kisses are great. So, you know, that has to be great, too. She ended up marrying him, and he couldn't get it up. That can happen, people. So I get it. In this day and age, it's not practical to wait till marriage. It's just not practical because there are a lot of people fronting. My thing is, if you front on your picture with all these different Photoshop and things like that and angles and things like that, you might be lying about your sex game. You know what I mean? So if your sex, I need to test that out because it may not work for us.
And, you know, and Russell seems a little suspect. So I don't know. I wouldn't wait till marriage. I mean, I do believe, you know, first of all, here at, First Bitch of the Day, we always, you know, we're all about protection. Always protect yourself, too, when having sex. That's the main thing. Always protect yourself and stay away from all these STDs. But I don't know. I feel like waiting, when you're dating somebody, you should wait. But till marriage, though, it's like, I
honestly don't think it's practical in this day and age.
No.
Just because, like I said, there are a lot of people fronting and lying about their sex game, about their pictures. My thing, if you're lying about your picture, And I'm just lying. And let me clearly define lying. I'm not saying you're using someone else's picture. I'm saying all the Photoshop filters, angles, and all that good stuff. That's lying. I want to see. You know, Joe, that I have this rule. I need to see several different pictures of you. And this is, because you were in the age of online dating. If you're online dating, this is one of my rules. Make sure you see several different pictures, several different angles, and they cannot have ugly blockers on, aka shades.
God, shades and hat
that can make
the person completely.
Oh my goodness, it's like, who are you?
Yeah, have you ever? You sound like you're coming from an experienced place there. Have you went on a date with somebody and they look completely different from their picture?
Yeah, that has definitely happened. And that's what I'm saying. If you'll lie about that, you will lie about other things. You'll lie about sizes. You'll lie about your game in regards to how you people add an inch or two. People also say, yeah, I'm good at it. Yeah, blah 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 blah. And my thing is, you might be good at it with certain people, but there has to be some sort of chemistry, body chemistry, hormone chemistry that has to work. Just because you're attracted to someone doesn't mean it's going to work. And that's been another situation, Joe, where I've been attracted to someone and like, oh my God, yes. And you got down to the nitty gritty and it's not.
Yeah, that has happened to me too. When you think it's going to be like, yes, and then you get down to it and it's like, yeah, this is not going to happen.
And don't sleep on, for lack of a better word, ugly people. For some reason, ugly people can throw down. And I guess it's because they have to work a little bit harder.
Yeah, they don't just, lay back and let the other person do all the work. They're like, I'm going to have to put some work into this.
Yeah. I don't know how we got into this topic, but we definitely want to wish Ciara a lot of luck. We'll definitely be looking out for that alleged documentary. If you enjoyed the show, make sure you're liking us on Facebook, following us on Twitter, following us on Instagram. Everything is First Bitch of the Day. For the Instagram and Twitter, it's at the number 1 BOTD. That's First Bitch of the Day. Okay, so that's 1 BOTD. I'm gonna get better at this. This is only episode 2. It's First Bitch of the Day here with Joe Paradise, and
follow me on Instagram at Joe Paradise and on Twitter at the Joe Paradise.
Yeah, because someone stole his other Twitter.
Yeah, I was so popular on that Twitter account, and then something happened. I deleted it, and I tried to get back into it, and I couldn't.
It was gone. It's fine. But make sure you guys are following us on all of our social media. You can listen to the first Bitch of the Day here on KEMPIRERadio.com, and we will be available very soon on iTunes, so you can subscribe. But you can definitely check us out here on KEMPIRERadio.com and all the good stuff on news and whatnot on our blog at KEMPIREDaily.com. Thank you for listening to the first Bitch of the Day. Episode 2, here with Joe Paradise and, of course, me, the Kempire. Have a great rest of the day.
Bye-bye, guys. Thank you for listening.
Thanks for tuning in to Kempire Radio's First Bitch of the Day with Joe Paradise and the Kempire. Don't forget to subscribe to us on iTunes and to follow us on all of our social media from Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. This has been a Kempire Media Group production.